I think these would be really nice with a little bit of ketchup on them, to be honest, but I'm just going to try them plain for now. Yeah, that's really good. You can certainly taste the Harissa spices, and it really works well with the fish as well. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make my delicious Harissa spiced fish nuggets. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious Harissa spiced fish nuggets. So this recipe is really easy to do, and this dish is really tasty, but it is slightly time consuming. But I promise the efforts are worth the results. So what I've done is I've laid out all of my ingredients. So in this bowl here I have some rice flour. You can use tapioca starch if you want to, or you could use plain flour as well. And I'm halving the ingredients today because my son isn't a great fan of these. My husband and myself love these, but my son has gone off fish a little bit at the moment. So I'm going to give him chicken nuggets instead, so I'm going to go and make those later. But yes, so it's just my husband and myself, so I've halved all the ingredients. So in this bowl here, I have about 2 tablespoons of rice flour, and again you can use plain flour or you could use tapioca starch as well. And then I have 1 large egg. In the original recipe I think I said 3 medium, so 1 large I'm hoping will cover all of this fish. And then in this bowl here I have about 2 tablespoons of almond flour, and again you could use ground flaxseed if you wanted to, or you could use breadcrumbs as well. And I'm just going to open these Harissa spices. So Harissa spices is a blend of spices, and you normally find this in sort of North African food. They will use this sort of spice in their food, but it works really well with fish, especially bassa, because bassa is quite a plain fish. It's a bit like chicken, so anything goes with it really. So I thought that I would just add some spices one day, and my husband and myself thought this was really tasty, so of course I had to share the recipe with you. So the first thing I'm going to do is just dip the fish nuggets. So I had about 3 large pieces of fish, and I just cut them into sort of 1-inch or 2-inch cubes. So I'm just going to dip that in the breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to dip that in the egg, and your fingers will get a bit sticky and a bit messy, but you can always just wash them as you go through the process. And then I'm just going to roll this in the almond flour and the Harissa spices. So I'll show that to you again. I've grabbed a piece of the fish, so a nugget, and I'm just dipping that in the brown rice flour. Then I'm just going to dip it in the egg, and I'm going to roll it in the Harissa spices and the almond flour. And I'm just going to put that on a plate, and I'm going to continue to do this until I've used up all of the fish. As you can see, I have finished making the fish nuggets, and I'm going to pop these in the fridge. So when I make fish nuggets, I like to make them in advance of a meal. So when I come to preheat my oven, I always put a baking tray in while the oven heats up. So when you take the baking tray out and put the fish nuggets on, it will be hot, and that way it will penetrate the meat and hopefully help it to make it a lot juicier. I like to do this with burgers as well. I find that if I preheat a baking tray while the oven heats up, it tends to make the burgers a lot juicier and a lot more tender as well. And also I find the outside goes a bit crispier as well. And the same thing seems to happen with fish nuggets too. So I always like to make these in advance, as I said. You could make these the day before if you wanted to, and store them in the fridge overnight. You can also make these up and just store them in the freezer. All of the ingredients in this recipe are freezable, apart from the brown rice. I wouldn't do it with brown rice flour, I would do it with tapioca starch or I would do it with plain flour if you're going to freeze them. And also I would make these a couple of hours before you're going to cook them and store them in the fridge. I promise you it makes them really juicy. So yes, as I said, I'm off to pop these into the fridge. I have preheated the oven to 200 degrees and I put the baking tray in while it was preheating, as I mentioned earlier. And now what I've done is I've transferred the fish nuggets from the plate in the fridge to the baking tray that's been preheated, and I'm going to pop this into the oven now. My chips are already in there, so I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 15 minutes or until the fish starts to flake away from itself. The Harissa spiced fish nuggets are done. They've got a lovely golden brown colour, and so have the chips. So I'm going to serve this up and I will try it and let you know how it tastes. I have served up and I just thought I'd try one of these delicious fish nuggets for you. They smell amazing, so I'm just going to dig in now and just try one. I think these would be really nice with a little bit of ketchup on them, to be honest, but I'm just going to try them plain for now. Yeah, that's really good. You can certainly taste the Harissa spices, and it really works well with the fish as well. So yes, I'm really looking forward to having this for my dinner this evening. That's how you make my delicious Harissa spiced fish nuggets, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having these for our dinner this evening, and they smell and taste so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.